But you sent out a tweet of people that you were talking to in this whole analytics conversation that Dan Campbell put to the fore with his decision making in the second half of the NFC Championship game. It sounds like it. Honestly, it does sound like you were talking to some dinosaurs. I mean, listen, because I was wondering why Campbell was making some of these decisions, and I would have gone for the field goal both times, just to keep the pressure on, take the point, certainly to tie. I mean, that for sure. But, I'll give you the floor here to more than just 280 characters that you threw out there on X about who you were talking to in this subject matter and what you've been hearing, ear to the ground.
Well, and obviously, look, if I was going to make stuff up, I would make stuff up that was far more interesting than commentary from a head coach who I can't name about how analytics provides a way for people who otherwise would not find a job in an NFL organization to find a job. And it's created this mini industry where analytics has just kind of taken over and spread everywhere. And there is a place for it. I'm not saying there isn't. My bigger point as it relates to Campbell is that it used to be a head coach, when faced with a decision, unconventional or conventional. If you do the unconventional thing and it doesn't work, you get questioned, you get scrutinized, you get criticized. You do the conventional thing and it doesn't work, nobody says boo. Then come analytics, which helps convert the unconventional to conventional. So when you do the unconventional thing and the numbers back you up, there's your explanation. You don't get criticized. You don't get scrutinized. It's not like it used to be. And I think that's helped create this monster where, under the guise of being aggressive, you just go for it all the time. Fourth down, go for it. Fake punt, do this, do that. I'm being aggressive. I'm being aggressive. I'm being aggressive. And my argument is it's foolish to be aggressive all the time. It's better to be unpredictable all the time. But you can't just say, we've always been aggressive, we're going to be aggressive, let's just go be aggressive. There's a point where you've got to step out of the boxing ring, Rich, and you got to sit down at the chess table. And you got to say to yourself, you know what? We just held the 49ers to 3 points opening drive of the second half. We're up 2 scores, 24-10. We're in a position to go up 3 scores again. There'll be 22 minutes left in the game. Boy, that's a lot of pressure on them. They need 3 scores in the final 22 minutes of the game. Let's take the field goal. Let's go up 3 scores. You got to be willing to forget about biting kneecaps and sit down and think it through. And that's my big critique of Dan Campbell. It's not about analytics at its core. It's about knowing when to step back from trying to throw that haymaker, because you may end up hitting yourself in the head.
Remember we called Ron Rivera Riverboat? You know what I mean? Like now, those decisions are like what, a ferry boat? Yeah. A dinghy, a pontoon? I don't know. I mean, they seem to be completely insane when he did it, but now they're standard. It pretty much
Barry
is.
Switzer going for it on 4th and 1 against the Eagles back in 94, 95. Remember that? That was like the world was going to end. And now we see that stuff happen all the time. Going for it in negative territory on 4th and short. People do it all the time. And the analytics gives you the cover to avoid the scrutiny that you used to get as a head coach, because the numbers support, that ESPN. I don't even know why they bother. The thing they put down in the corner of the games on ESPN. Go. Have you ever seen anything other than go? It's always go. It's always go. It can't always be go.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.